Hi everybody, Elizabeth here with Country Peony, and welcome to episode 27 of Coffee and Crafting. So Coffee and Crafting is a craft show that I host here out of my studio in Texas. I love to grab a warm cup of coffee and then get to crafting in the afternoon, and I thought it'd be really fun to take you along some of these crafting adventures to hopefully inspire you and to inspire me to create, because ultimately it's all about creating and it's all about the process and just having fun. So today I've got a really fun and simple craft for you. So this project was actually featured on goodhousekeeping.com several years ago. It is a play off of my really popular peppermint topiary that is around Christmas time. And so I thought it'd be really fun to bring in some peeps to make a peep topiary. And the reason why I'm featuring it this week is because this is the perfect project to do the week of Easter. Since it is perishable, I don't recommend keeping it out for very long, but it is so much fun to do with you, with your children, with your grandchildren. And it is so simple. And you just add a fun cake topper and you add it to your Easter table or your fun dessert bar, whatever you have. So let's get started. Let me grab my cup of coffee and then we can get going. Okay, so since Easter is really early this year, the weather here is amazing, but I'd love to hear what the weather's like where you are. I'm in Texas, and a lot of my northern friends, y'all have been experiencing snow and it just doesn't feel like spring, so I'm really sorry, but I'm hoping these fun and whimsical colors can really get you inspired for Easter this weekend. Okay, so we're gonna get started. So I just took, this is an 8-inch topiary, and if you look at the description below, I've got the full blog post that I did several years with this project. I did it several years ago. I did it with an 8-inch and then a taller topiary, so you can see how you can vary. I'm choosing an 8-inch because this is all that my local craft store had at the time. And what you can see, it is a green floral topiary. So my first thing was I painted it with just some craft paint, the same color that I'm going to do the peeps with. So, and that's why my hands are really messy, so I apologize. Okay, so I chose this beautiful, let me try to find a spot that's not as covered. You can see this pink, and the reasoning behind painting it first is because when you add your peeps, you're not going to cover every single spot on your topiary, and this just gives it a really beautiful and fun and finished look. Okay, so this is the end result, and I've got the adorable pom-pom to kind of mimic a bunny's tail. But for today, I thought it'd be fun to do a yellow topiary. So I will mention, this is a messy process. It is so much fun. It is very beginner friendly. It'd be great to get you, your children, your grandchildren involved, but it's very messy. So just letting you know that up front. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to take just some simple craft paint, and you're going to paint the topiary. This is just a cone, styrofoam. And again, it's green, and I just painted one coat of the craft paint. And the best way that I found to do this is you just apply the craft paint directly to your styrofoam and then brush it on. That way you don't have to get a paper plate dirty or your palette dirty. It's really simple. And I actually did only paint this about 30 minutes ago, which is why it's still wet, so bear with me. But that's okay, because you can still add your peeps. And I will mention, I would not recommend eating these peeps with my peppermint topiary, since they are in plastic bags. You can take the peppermint off. With this, I do not recommend eating the peeps, but it's solely for decoration, and I highly recommend doing it just a couple of days before Easter because you don't want to leave them out on the counter too long. Okay, so now that we have our topiary painted, we are going to open all of our really fun peeps. So I chose the bunny peeps. Obviously, peeps come in very different sizes and colors, and the bunny peeps are the best because they lay nice and flat against your topiary. But honestly, you could do this to whatever Easter candy that's like a marshmallow shape that you want. I just think it's really charming with the bunny peeps. Okay, so after you paint your topiary or your styrofoam cone, I do recommend letting it dry. Mine's not dry, so don't listen to me. Don't watch. Do as I say, not as I do. But for today, it's totally fine. So I do recommend tearing your Peeps apart first, because as you can see, they're kind of connected, and you don't want to keep them connected as you're working on this topiary, because it will be really hard to pull them apart, and you're just going to make an even bigger mess. So for this one, I used 4 of these packages. So there are 8 in these, so that's 32, but it's really up to you and what size your styrofoam cone is. At Christmas time, I purchase a bunch of these styrofoam cones whenever they're on sale, because I do use them for other times than just Christmas. So I recommend that for you for next year if you want to make really fun projects like this. And I actually got this idea years ago. I saw it on an ad, a Target ad. I saw something very similar to this. Now I added my own spin and my own twist on it, but I thought it was really cool that they used Peeps as part of a decoration. It's just like candy corn. I know some of you have a love-hate relationship with Peeps. I have a love-love relationship. I think they're adorable, and I think they taste really good. But some of you don't like Peeps, and that's totally fine. And so here is a way that you can incorporate Peeps into your decorations, because they're so cute. You have to be honest. They are so adorable. And I would love to hear if any of you do decorate with Peeps. I've seen them on centerpieces before as part of floral arrangements. I think that's really fun. People put them around the vase. I was just curious if y'all would let me know if you've ever done anything like this before. Because, like I said, it is a little out of the ordinary, but that's what makes it so fun. So if you're just joining us, this is what we were making. This adorable bunny Peeps topiary just in time for Easter. Okay, I think I've got enough Peeps here. The other thing about this is not a very expensive project. All of these together, we're maybe talking $10, a little bit more. And so it's gonna be really fun. Okay, so the magic to making this happen are these greening pins. I use these for my peppermint candy Christmas tree as well, but basically you can find this in your floral section. It is just a pin with a curved edge, and it lays flat up against whatever you're doing. Again, you can find this in the floral section. I've also linked an option below. I think it comes with like 150 of them. That's what I use because I make these projects all the time. Okay, so whenever I'm making a topiary or a cone topiary, I start at the bottom. And so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take a Peep, and I'm going to take a fun greening pin, and I'm going to lay my topiary flat on the ground so I can see where it hits. And then I'm going to add a Peep directly to it. So I'm going to put the Peep kind of where you would put a bow tie, like right below, kind of at the base of the neck. And so I'm just going to insert the Peep into the styrofoam like so. Very, very simple. It kind of looks like a cute bow tie, I think. I think that's really cute. And you don't want to press too hard into your marshmallow Peep, because if you press too hard into it, you're going to indent it. So I barely have it pressed in there. It's just stuck enough for the greening pin to go into your styrofoam cone. Okay, and then we're going to take our next Peep, and we are going to butt it up right up against the first one. And again, it would be best to do this if your hands are completely dry. That is not what I'm doing today because I had to paint these first. See, let me show you. This one I went a little bit too far in. There's a little bit more of an indentation. It's not going to, break this craft, but I just prefer if you kind of set it on top of there. Okay? And again, this is a messy process, so I recommend having like a wet towel nearby and a dry towel to keep your hands nice and clean. So we're just going to continue to move along. We're going to butt these Peeps or kiss these Peeps up against each other. I'm keeping that greening pin, the direction going the same way throughout, so it's nice and consistent. And you can see we've got the Peeps up against each other. So cute, so simple. Again, this is something you can do with your children or your grandchildren or just by yourself because it's really fun and it's very therapeutic because it's a nice repetitive process. And so I'm just going to continue to add these peeps to look like almost a little bow tie right next to each other. And the really cute thing with these is that these peeps come in so many different colors, and you could have a color for each, a different size, and you can kind of layer them together with your fun bunnies or your fake cakes like I have back here. It's really up to you. And this is just a really fun and unexpected decoration. I think that's the best part about this is people look at it and they say, oh, those are real. And it's really fun. My kids love these. The only thing they don't like about these is that they cannot eat them, which I totally get. When they saw that I bought all these for today, they got so excited, and I said, no, it's for work. And so I saved a couple for them. Don't worry. Don't worry. Okay. So I'm just continuing to add the peeps, and I'm doing this all in real time so you can see how simple it is and how fast it does go. The longest step is this bottom layer since it is the biggest. And I'm just showing you, we're just going to keep going. So here, I've got a pretty big gap. If I just stick this one peep in between there, there's going to be a big gap on each side. So since we are dealing with marshmallows that are flexible and pliable, I think you can fit 2 in there. You can kind of sneak 2 in there. You can squeeze them in, okay? So we're just going to place one here, and then we're going to place the other one right next to it. And I've got paint on my forehead, which is just fabulous. Okay. Sugar and paint. What can you ask? What more can you ask for as a craft blogger? Okay. So we've got our bottom layer done. Look how cute that is. Isn't that adorable? And I love this yellow because it's so cute. Okay. So now we're just going to work our way up. And instead of going in between each layer, I really like the look of what I did here, where they're kind of stacked one on top of the other. As you can see, there's a pretty good example. The bunny is right on top of one another. So I'm going to try to do that here. So again, I'm just going to place another one here, right on top of this one. Okay. And I'm just going to keep working my way around, and you can see why it was important to break off these bunnies first because, you know, when you get in the middle of it, your hands get really sticky. You don't want to break off these bunnies. You want to make sure that they're nice and pretty and clean. And so all I'm doing here is I'm just stacking the Peep bunnies on top of each other to create this adorable topiary for your Easter table. So cute. And I'm placing this greening pin kind of where you would place a bow tie or right at the neck because it looks like a little bow tie, and I think that's cute. And people have asked if I could hot glue these. I guess you could, but I feel like they would fall off because of the sugar on the Peeps. So I would just stick with the greening pins. They're really simple, really easy, and they're not that expensive. I think the one that I have linked below you can get for, I think it was like $10 for 200 of them or something like that. And here we're only using about 30 with this project. So, and the cool thing is you can save them for next year. You can save them to do my peppermint Christmas tree. Okay, I am almost done with this layer. It doesn't take long. And then here you can either choose just to place a Peep here, or if you think that gap's too big, then you can do another one. I don't think it's so big, so I'm going to go ahead and just set it in there. Or actually, I lied. I think I can get another one in there. You want to make them as consistent as possible. Okay, so I'm going to kind of squeeze this one in here. That way it'll give me room for my next one, for its neighbor. And I love how this looks. I think these are so cute. I just wish I could keep them up for longer than a week or two. So cute. Okay, so we're going to do the next layer. And obviously these layers don't take as long because there aren't as many of them. And my hands are getting really messy, but that's okay. But I am going to wipe them a little bit. And I'd love to know if y'all have any questions. This is a really fun project, and it's very, very simple. Aside from being messy, that's really the hardest part of this entire project, is staying somewhat clean. And the other thing is not eating all of them if you like Peeps like me. And the only reason why it's super messy for me right now is, other than the sugar, is because I did not let the paint dry, which I do recommend you doing in advance. I was just working against time, and I should have painted these more than an hour ago, but that's okay. Okay, so I'm just going to continue to add, and you're just wanting to place these poor Peeps. His eyes aren't working too well, but that's okay. It's still going to be really cute. Okay, so I'm just continuing to add these to the styrofoam cone, and then we're just going to nestle it in there. You can see how simple this is, and I'm barely pushing the pen in there. I mean, it is barely going in, and that should give it plenty of strength. So you can hear I barely pushed it in there. Okay, here is the next layer. So cute. Isn't that adorable? I love it. Okay, the last layer is this top layer. And the cool thing about this layer is you can see the ears kind of go above the cone. So you're not seeing the cone at all. You can see they're kind of peeping above that. Okay. And then we're just going to keep turning it. I love using unexpected things, like in my decorations, in my crafting. It's a fun conversation starter, especially something like this, when you have it at a party or just for you to enjoy. And it's ultimately really fun to create, which is the ultimate goal. I believe in the process of creating and what it does for our hearts and our spirits, and this is a really fun one to do. Okay. So I'm just now putting on my last one, and we are about 20 minutes in, even though I didn't start this until about 5 minutes in. So if you just do the topiary, it takes about 10 to 15 minutes, not long at all, for this adorable, adorable Peeps Topiary. I'd love to know what you think. I think it's really cute and really sweet, as is. But if you want to add a little something extra, like I did here, you can add this cute pom-pom. So let me kind of clean my hands a little bit, and then I will show you how to make this adorable pom-pom that goes on top of your Peeps Topiary. Okay, so now we're going to make this really cute pom-pom, and I'm going to clean some of this up, get this out of the way. So for this pom-pom, I like this size, but you could even go bigger if you want to add more of a whimsical effect. I just use the 45 size. This is Clover's Pom-Pom Maker, and I have it linked below, but this is my favorite size to work with. I use this on a lot of different projects. It's a really good size for that. And so you could go a couple of different ways with this color story. You could keep the colors the same. I could have easily done a pink on a pink, which is fun. And I could have done a yellow on a yellow, but honestly, I did not have a yellow color to match this peep yellow. And so I thought, why not just add a really fun pink? And so this is one of my favorite yarns. It's a bulkier yarn, so it's really easy and simple to make a pom-pom. So all we're going to do is we're going to take this pom-pom maker, and we're going to open one arm side, and then we are going to wrap the yarn around the pom-pom arm, like so. We're just going to keep wrapping it until it is consistently full on this entire arm. Okay. So we are actually almost there already, so let me show you. This is a pretty good fullness, thickness for it. And then we're just going to close this pom-pom maker arm, and I'm going to take some really sharp scissors and just snip that. So you've got one side full. You're going to open up the other side of the arm, pom-pom arm, and whenever I'm working with the yarn, I just like to let it do its thing on the ground as I'm unraveling it. And so I'm just going to continue to wrap this yarn around the pom-pom maker arm, like so. Continue until it's super full. And again, this is a really good, for the smaller ones, I like to have the yarn on basically flat or even with the sides of this pom-pom maker arm. You're going to close it, and then you're going to cut an extra piece of yarn that's going to tie it together. And then there are these guidelines on this pom-pom maker arm that you're just going to cut down with your really sharp scissors, like so. You're just going to keep cutting around the entire pom-pom maker arm, making sure that it stays nice and closed. And you're going to continue to cut down this line, as you can see. And once you've cut around the entire arm and making sure that it's cut all the way across, you're going to take this string that you just cut and you're going to place it in between where you just cut. So that pom-pom maker guideline. Okay? And then from here, you're going to double knot it really tight as you can. And then you are going to make sure it's nice and tight. And then you're going to carefully pull it apart. Like so, you just pull your pom-pom maker arms apart. And then my favorite part is pulling it apart. And then that's when you reveal a super charming pom-pom. So from here, you need to trim your pom-pom. So I just get, like this will work, just a shallow dish. And I will just cut on top of this. We don't need the strings for this project. Sometimes you do, like if you're going to tie it to a keychain or to a project. But for today, we're not going to, so I'm just going to cut that off. I'm going to snip that, and then I'm just going to work around. I'm going to give it a really fun haircut. So I'm just snipping off a lot of this excess yarn so it's nice and even and cute. And this is why it's important to have really sharp scissors for this. It's such a fun craft, and it's instant. This took less than 2 minutes to make this pom-pom. And that's why I love pom-poms so much, because they are not only adorable, but they are so simple to make. And you can do all kinds of fun colors and textures and everything. And there you have it, this adorable pom-pom. Okay, so for this step, you can hot glue it to the top, or you can use these wonderful greening pins and insert it to the top. So I'm just going to carefully place it into there. And then there you have it, an adorable topper for your pom-pom. And if you need to trim some more, you can do that. But you don't have to go crazy with it. It doesn't need to be perfect. Overall, it just needs to be really fun and cute. And I think you have accomplished that. So I would love to know what you think about this bunny Peeps Topiary that is perfect for Christmas. I think it's so cute. It's so whimsical. And it is so much fun to make. And ultimately, it's really, really simple. So let me know if you have any questions. I would love to answer them for you. Thank you so much for following along today. Again, if you have any questions, in the description below, I have a supply list as well as this project on the blog, which has this entire step-by-step tutorial for you as well. So thank you so much, guys. I hope you have a beautiful Monday and a wonderful Easter weekend, and I will see you next week here on Coffee and Crafting, where we will make some really, really fun things. Thank you, guys, and I hope you have a great rest of your week. I'll talk to you soon.